One group that remains on the front lines are transit workers, essential to keeping our cities running and transporting medical professionals. But some are raising concerns about whether they're getting the necessary protection. Joining us for more is the International President of the Transport Workers Union, John Samuelson. John, good to see you today. What are your specific concerns right now? Obviously, your members are kind of the essential among the essential workers in many ways.
Yeah, so transit workers across America are the absolute essential, and in many, many ways, we're not being taken care of properly. I think you've noted that the ATU and the TWU, the two biggest transit unions in the country, have collectively made a vow to defend transit workers, and we're in the midst of doing that right now, fighting it out city by city, municipality by municipality, to ensure that transit workers have the proper PPE and proper procedures in place to take care of them.
What are they getting right now? Anything?
So it's very mixed. Cities like New York, where there's been an extremely aggressive fight back, New York City transit workers are well protected in terms of PPE. There's some other issues going on in terms of density in the system that we can talk about. But other cities such as Atlanta, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland are not being taken care of in any uniform way. And I think you mentioned before, what can the federal government do? Well, just like the federal government instituted an economic bailout, a uniform economic bailout, industry by industry, certainly the federal government needs to step up, whether that be OSHA or the FTA or on the airline side, the FAA. They need to step up with uniform protections for workers, because right now it's not going on, it's not happening, and transit workers are dying.
When you say it's not going on, not happening, obviously you've been communicating with those cities and systems that you say are not doing enough. What's the response been, and I guess even with the federal government?
It's not a uniform system like it would be in the airline industry. Transit providers are done municipality by municipality. We're asking now for the first time that the federal government institute uniform measures across the board. There's been no response from them yet. State by state, city by city, the response has been mixed, where workers have the determination to fight back and defend their livelihoods. PPE is coming, proper protection is coming. Where workers don't fight back, the companies are having their way with them, and people are dying.
Obviously, these are essential services. They're essential workers. They might not have thought themselves to be that before this pandemic started, but obviously that's the position they find themselves in. Is there talk of a strike or any kind of action you can take?
Yeah, so absolutely, transit workers, we've always recognized ourselves to be essential workers in society. We are the circulatory system in any calamity that gets frontline workers into the fight, whether they be paramedics or home aides or food industry workers. So in the aftermath of the 9/11 attacks, transit workers stood tall. In the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy and various other hurricanes, we've always delivered for society. The obligation is reciprocal, though. Folks must deliver for us, the government must deliver for us, and have us work with proper protection. And to answer your question, we will organize fightbacks. We are advising workers not to work unless they're given proper protection. It's idiotic for a municipality or any government entity or a private employer, for that matter, to say that they cannot obtain proper protection. The unions themselves have been able to obtain it, and if we've been able to obtain it, the government certainly can. So it's a situation where it's become obvious in some cities that the employers, whether they be government agencies or private entities, simply don't care about the health and safety of transit workers and are really willing to use them as cannon fodder. And we're not going to be used as cannon fodder. We will fight back.
John, we hope you get what you need. Keep us posted. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we thank, of course, our transit workers and all of our essential workers. John Samuelson.